Show everyone that you love me. Yay! Come here. Yay! Come on. Come on. Yay! Fun fact. Okay, I didn't even know that Monster had this, but Monster Energy has coffee. You would think it would be garbage. The coffee is so good. It's so good. And one of the flavors is Mean Bean. I almost drink it just because of the name. Mean Bean, are you kidding me? Can't get enough of that. You should try hypnosis again. I think that I might be immune. I think just too prepared for it. I'm doing good today. Can you get me sponsored by both Monster and Gorilla Mine? I don't know if I can do that, but actually, if you are interested in potentially trying to get a sponsorship from Gorilla Mine, this is how I became sponsored, was on their website. They have a little place on there where it says like apply to be an affiliate. That's what I did. So you could try that. I'm saying, can you? I actually don't have the pull. You would think, because I'm just like, hey, but no. What if I have less than 1K followers? Koi sauce, it's never a bad idea to try. You don't know unless you try, And honestly, 500 loyal subscribers is better than 1 million that freaking hate you. So there you go. It's good to try. I'm back. The trip back, I was like, oh, I had to stop on the way back I am back home. I had to stop in Phoenix before going, I live in California, to California. But in Phoenix, they're experiencing some sort of like weird, I actually don't know if it's weird, maybe it's regular, but they're experiencing like some weather issues, some like storms. So our plane had to divert to Vegas and then go back to Phoenix. And the airport that I like to go to closes at 11. And I was on the last flight, so I already knew. I was like, I'm not getting home. So I had to stay in Phoenix. And no offense to anyone that lives in Phoenix, but it was so hot, and I wasn't even going out during the day. I was going out in the early wee hours. Whoa, sorry. Like 6:30, 7 a.m. That's not that wee, but you know what I mean. Or the scratchy. Or like later at night, like 11, 12, and it was so hot. It was so hot. No offense, but I was like, hey, maybe this is a sign that we're not supposed to be here. Maybe this is like a sign that like people are not meant to inhabit this location. I don't know. It was pretty intense. And then my dad told me that scientists are estimating in X amount of years that we won't be able to. And I was like, we're already there. They had record amounts of like 120 degrees during the summer. I enjoyed the British weather, actually. It was really funny. Everyone from there and other people were like, oh, isn't this weather terrible? Isn't it terrible? And I was like, I actually really like it. It was just kind of overcast, but very, very pleasant. Very pleasant temperature. Overcast, which granted, I feel like if I was living in overcast all the time, that would be difficult to deal with. And it rained maybe like 10 minutes every day, which I thought was great because it really never rains where I live. Can you attest? Because it's a stereotype that French people are mean. Are they mean? Would I get bullied? Would they bully me? I don't speak any French. Please comment below if I would get bullied. I already low-key kind of get bullied here. Only if your drip is whack. Then I'd be safe. Then I would be safe, Toes Booty. That's right, I'm French. Parisians are mean, French aren't. Okay, that makes sense. I'll stay my ass out of Paris then. I went out in LA before I left. I went out in LA. And they were so much nicer. I was like, okay, so I live like an hour south-ish, doxing, approximately, of LA, and they're freaking mean. But when I went out in LA, everyone was like, oh my gosh, your outfit's so cool. Oh my gosh, you look so cool, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, you know what? Man, I'm gonna start coming up here. You guys are nice. Did the orange team win? No, we didn't. I don't think. The games I don't feel like they were structured like super well to make it like for everyone. It was kind of like the whole group was set up in groups, and then they had 2 groups versing each other. So I was the orange team. I think we were against the pink team. I don't even know if we won. I think at that point, like, nobody really cared. What's Team Orange? In London with Gymshark, we had this like athlete day where I think we were supposed to bond by playing games, and they just put us in teams pitted against each other. So yeah, it was fun though. It was fun. I liked that day. Except for the food. Hurt my stomach super bad. No bonding was done. There was no bonding. It was actually really funny. Lily, thank you for the beds. Thank you. The pumpkins. Did you get to eat anything else in London? I did. I actually documented every single thing that I ate. So over the course of 4.5 days. So that's this week's YouTube video, is every single thing that I ate. And I think the only times when I was really eating like British food was the couple of times where I went out on my own and sought it out. But there was beans, Nevin, there was beans every breakfast. I had beans every breakfast. I think people just like to diss the beans because it's funny and they're baked beans, but I love baked beans. So I was like, oh, I like this a lot. Honestly, right, Link, the food that I like sought out on my own was very different. I had this one thing that was called prawn toast. It was disgusting. That was mean. It was not of my taste. It was not of my preference. I didn't like it. I also had a Scotch egg, which is different. It was amazing. It tasted nearly identical to a corn dog. It was very good. It was like a corn dog with an egg inside, but you couldn't taste the egg at all. So I took creatine and it gave me insomnia. Any advice? Is that a thing that creatine does? Insomnia? I would say take it in the morning then. Take it in the morning. It doesn't matter what time you take creatine. It's not like time dependent. So take it in the morning. See if that helps. Did you eat Bubble and Squeak? I didn't. Maybe I did. What is that? No, I didn't have this. I didn't have this, but I remember this being recommended from you guys recommended this, and then I didn't have any. Oh, there was like this dessert that they gave us. We had like an athlete dinner and they gave us, I did have mushy peas on the plane, and I was like, what is this? But they were pretty good. Really green. We had this dessert that I was like, this is like a diet dessert. It was basically Cool Whip with meringue and strawberries. It was really good though. Anytime I eat meringue, I always feel like it's a diet thing though, because I mean the little meringues, like the crunchy ones, not the ones on top of pie. Because every time I see it like on TikTok Shop and someone's like, I found this 1-calorie treat. I'm like, bro, you're just now experiencing meringue. Catch up, bro, in the big 2025. You've never had meringue before? But yeah, they are very light. And I feel like every time I see them marketed towards anyone, it's like as a diet thing. So you should try to jump scare Sarah to get even.
Hey guys, what's up? Sarah here, and today I'm gonna teach you how to.
I could. I'm just really jumpy though. You could approach me face on, slowly. I'm making eye contact with you the whole time. I might still jump. I might be like, whoa, my gosh. Did you have a spice bag? That sounds like a drug. If this gets clipped and my mom sees it, she's probably gonna be pissed. But I think when I was like 7 or 8, I would just be like walking around and they would throw things at me. Like, oh, I was like, why would you do that? And I never saw it coming. And they thought it was so funny. I have this really distinct memory walking through, my mom used to teach gymnastics to babies. And she would do it like at elementary schools sometimes. So I was walking, it was in the gymnasium where the basketballs are. And I was walking through the gymnasium. Boom! A basketball hits the side of my head. I fall to the floor. I'm dazed and confused. I look over to the right and I see my mom and my brother laughing at me. And I was like, you're trying to kill me! And so that was pretty scary. And also my mom used to do this thing. My mom used to do, they're so Stoic Omega haters. Sam, I know. That's what turned me into the Stoic Omega I am. But my mom used to do this thing that I think a lot of moms do, where she would just chase me through the house. And I grew up in like an older house, so the whole house would shake. Like the whole house would shake. And she'd be running, and I'd be running away. And I'd be like, please leave me alone, leave me alone. And then she would run, and I was just like afraid she was gonna tickle me or something. It was pretty scary. So I think maybe that's why I'm pretty jumpy, but I've always been jumpy. My mom never chased me. Okay, well maybe. Testing your motor skills? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, she never like would hurt me after that, but it was just really scary. Like it was just really scary. So, yeah, mom sounds like a gymnast alpha. Yeah, pretty much. She's a great mother though, okay? Even those silly things aside, I feel like a lot of people are not as fortunate enough to have a mother as loving as mine. No bad things to say about her, except for throwing the basketball at the side of my head when I was like 8. She's one of those mothers who I feel like really wanted to be a mother, and she was a great one. Like she loves being a mom. She's very great. I had like a low-key traumatic birth, so also maybe that's why I'm a Stoic Omega from birth. But she said I'd do it a million times over just to have you again. So great mother. Shout out to my mom. And I was fortunate enough that she was like a entrepreneur. So I spent all of my childhood just hanging out with her. She just took me to work and stuff. It was pretty cool. So my childhood was like hanging out on the farm and playing in the dirt. I have one sibling. I have one brother. So, and he's also a great guy. He's really a great guy. We have a pretty big age gap though. So that was like a big thing when we were kids, was like just kind of like different generations. But now both as being adults, I'm like, dang, you're actually like super cool. And just like a really good person. I feel like even now, whenever I talk to him, I kind of learn something new that I didn't think about him before. And he's like, I'm like, dang, you're like super based. But you're stronger than him. No, he's pretty strong. And I respect his grind. He usually works out like in the backyard with like handmade stuff. Like he was the first person that I knew that made weights. Did that during the pandemic. Yeah. Was he also born into the Stoic arts? I don't think he's a Stoic. We actually have really different personalities. Like I feel like this, I seem talkative, and then people meet me in real life, and then they're like, dang, you are freaking nonverbal right now. And I'm like, I'm bashful. That was a Ashy B reference, but not him. He will talk to anybody and everybody, and he'll see someone having a bad day, and then he'll just start a conversation with them, and suddenly they're having the best day ever. I'm like, dude, you're so goated. My extrovertedness is a front. I wouldn't even say I'm extroverted.